Welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast, All In segment 2 with our boy All In Daniels
What's up?
and our boy Tony B from TBA Spokane.
Let's go all day.
I'm your boy Raider Will, and today we're going to talk Luke Getzy, the draft, and the way that we see it affecting us and different strategies that we're going to use to get our team better. Hey, right now it's Super Bowl Sunday, but we don't give a fuck. It's Raiders all day, as Max Crosby has said. You know what? So we're going to focus on the Raiders. Hey, guys, we hired Luke Getzy. How do you guys see Luke Getzy coming in and affecting the team? Hey, All In, let's start with you, bro. You saw the guy's strategy in Chicago against us. And you know what? Antonio Pierce said, yo, that showed me that dude can do something. So tell me what you saw. Tell me what you think.
I mean, yeah, he beat our ass with a third string quarterback. The dude is, I wasn't sure about it, man, because I didn't know. I wasn't educated on the dude. But after looking into it, I like it. The last 2 years, he finished 1-2 in rushing. That's huge. I think he'll carry that over. Devontae had his best couple years in Green Bay under that guy. He coached Devontae for a while as a receiver coach in the first stint, so he's got a good rapport there with him, man. I like it, man. It's a good move, I think. I think it'd be better than the Kingsbury move, too.
Well, hey,
more of a West Coast style.
I'm going to come back to you because I have some things that you brought up, some good facts, but I have some counters to those. So I'm going to come back to you. But Tony B, hit me
I
those.
like it. I wasn't. Everybody's like, it's not the hire that they wanted, which is fine with me because sometimes they just don't get everything that they wanted. But if he can bring back the run game and run it and bring that offense back and that style of smash mouth, I'm okay with it. That's the kind that we need to get back. We need to get in people's faces. We need to be dirty in the trenches. Like we gotta rough it up. We gotta be a physical presence out there. And if they can bring that offense back with that's gonna open up, get in there and you run the ball. And then it opens up Devontae. They say they want to run the ball and go through Devontae more. This is the right guy for the job.
No, hey, you know what, guys? I can't disagree with you that the run game is definitely going to be crucial for the Raiders in like the next year or years to come. The run game is something that all dominant teams have. Now, guys, you guys brought up a point. He brings the number 1 and number 2 rushing team for the last 2 years. But the big counterpart to that is what? Justin Fields. Okay. Justin Fields was the guy that moved the chains for them because he extended the plays with his legs. Okay. Right now, I get it. A lot of people are saying a lot of possibilities in the draft. How do you guys see him with the guys we got on the roster currently? Okay. I'm not saying that those are going to be the quarterbacks of next year. Okay. But how do you guys see him adapting his offense and adapting his game's playing style or calling style to these guys and having them be effective? Okay. We got pocket guys. We don't got guys that extend the play with their feet. How do you guys see him affecting those guys? All in?
Man, I'd have to go back and look. I'd be curious to know how many broken plays contributed to that league-leading rushing and number 2 in rushing. But I think if we bring Josh back and with Zeus, man, I think we could be in the top. We'll just say 5 in rushing, right? With just those 2 guys, and not even factor in the quarterback position.
Yeah,
man. I think you'll see. Let's just say, like you said, AOC is the guy, right? So he's the quarterback. I mean, I think we could all agree Jimmy G's not going to be there. And if he is, it's kind of the same game plan. Aaron Rodgers didn't rush a lot or ever, really, in Green Bay.
He can extend the play with his feet.
He could, but he didn't do it a lot.
No.
Right? So he's not out there picking up big-time first downs. Hell, he could have extended the play in the NFC Championship game against Tampa and took him to the Super Bowl and didn't. So he just wasn't that type of guy either. But man, I think you'd see. I could see AOC running that offense versus not running the Cliff offense where you have to be mobile.
I agree with that. All right. Yo, Tony B.
You said he extends plays, fields, and that's where, which means if he's extending the plays with his legs and he's getting a lot of the rushing yards, those rushing yards weren't meant to be a rush to begin with. It was probably a pass that he got, like a broken play, like he was saying.
Right.
So if he's extending plays, that's where the yards are coming from. It'll be okay to get those yards from under center. He's gonna not have to extend the plays because we're gonna have a better run game to initiate that rush attack that's going to open up our passing lanes. So with us being able to be more dominant from under center, we don't need the quarterback that's going to have to extend the plays to get the rushing yards. We need a quarterback that can extend the plays for those that are in the passing game and
Mhm.
maybe, but not for the rushing side of our offense. Our offense should be okay.
I see what you're saying. I mean, like you're going almost back to the more traditional way of using the quarterback, where you're like, "Hey, man, let's
Yeah,
let our runner, let the guys that run the load run it, and then we don't have to go into like all in set. Yo, Kingsbury is a guy that he's spread out. He needs an athletic quarterback. In the whole Kingsbury situation, you guys knew I didn't like him from the beginning. A lot of people were like, "Yo, he has this playing style," but it really depended on a certain type of quarterback.
Yep.
Like I really didn't feel like he could adapt his style to a different type. Like he needed a specific type, and I think that was the backbreaker where they were like, "Yo, we can get this guy, but you want to get this guy, and nah." There was something there, and then
Yeah,
he
they're
had
for
the
sure.
ego thing, and I think it was a little more of this, all right, where he thought he could get more money. So you know what? Like we said, fuck, him. Yo, straight up. Uh, so we said, yo, Luke Getzy, I could see that where you go and you set up a guy from underneath center. You say, hey, Devontae, you know what? We might not have an Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, like, if you look at the quarterback class this year, there's a lot of guys shooting up the draft board that are like making a lot of plays for themselves. So even at 13, we can still get a pick, I think. Now, Aliin, we were talking earlier about it, right? Where we said,
Hmm.
yo, there's about five guys you see coming in the first round. So do you see five guys in the first 10 picks? Or do you see five guys in the first like 20 to 30 picks that
Man,
could.
honestly, I potentially could see five guys in the first 15. Say Chicago decides they want to stay and draft a quarterback, right? And say New England decides to stay and they don't move out. So say there's no movement in the top three. That's three quarterbacks right there. I think will
Yeah,
go. I think the first non-position or non-QB will be Harrison Jr. to Arizona at 4, if that's the case. Then you
yeah.
got Atlanta needs a quarterback, right? So there's 4. You got Denver needs a
No,
quarterback.
no,
There's
no.
5.
Atlanta just drafted that kid from last year. That Riddick kid was like a rookie, I think.
That dude is trash, just like Matt Jones, man. They're going to go quarterback, I think.
Again?
straight caca, bro.
Yeah, that dude's garbage. I really do, man. I think Atlanta's going to make a play for Fields, and if Chicago doesn't move from him, or if Chicago keeps him, then you'll see somebody go to 1. But I think Atlanta, and then you got Denver and us, man. There's 6 teams right there that could potentially be looking at quarterbacks in round 1. That's 6 in the top 13.
Right.
It
Okay.
could. Hey, and real quick, back to the extending plays thing, man. That's been my biggest gripe with AOC
Mm-hmm.
is, man, just move it, step out of the pocket and pick up the first down when it's there, or just avoid the sack, right? He showed that he wasn't even mobile this year to avoid the sack, and that's my biggest gripe and why I think we need to go quarterback. I think Adams proved, his first year here last year with Carr that he can have a big year. 1,500 yards. I forget how many touchdowns, right? Those are the kind of
Right.
numbers he's putting up with Rodgers. So he proved that he could put up those numbers without Rodgers, right? And granted, he had Derek Carr, and they had a relationship, but I think he could still put up numbers with a guy like AOC. But I'm not sold that AOC can get out of his own way, man, when it comes to avoiding sacks.
We all know that he's very limited. That's where
Yeah,
I'm like, that's where when Tony was talking about it, right? I'll get back to that. Is where Tony was like, "Yo, I can see him though developing as a guy that comes from underneath center, that uses play action, and you don't have, and people confuse mobility with athleticism. Okay, I think he can move. I just think he doesn't have one. He didn't have the reps, and two, bro, you need time to develop in the NFL playing like quarterback. Okay, and when you don't, and when everybody's riding on you, okay, you brought in Jimmy G. You paid Jimmy G a shitload of money because guess what? McDummy thought he was the shit. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to do this instead of going with another dude. So he brought in his guy. Bro, and you get thrown in there. Yeah, I get it. A lot of people saw the games in the preseason and they thought, oh, he was good.
preseason is way different.
Preseason, he's going against
Uh,
guys that are like
uh,
his draft picks. He's going against twos. He's going against guys that are on his level. Okay.
Right.
So I can
right.
see him excelling. Give him a little bit of time. Not every quarter. Bro, Peyton Manning looked terrible. I'm not saying he's Peyton Manning, but I'd be like, when he was a rookie, did he look good? No. But again, I think this is where we come back and yeah, we say, hey, do we need to bring in competition at the quarterback room? Yeah. But are you guys willing to say that it's a wrap with AOC?
I think if
I
they
mean,
draft a guy, it's a wrap with AOC. You could say he can compete all you want. If you use that first round pick on a quarterback, AOC's number two.
no, I think I
And you
agree
got
with
to
you.
go out and I mean, to be politically correct, right? You got to say, nah, we're going to have a competition, but you're not going to use a number one draft pick on a quarterback for the guy to sit.
No, but I'd be like, I think too, like, if you draft the guy at number one, people know that you're going to draft the guy at number one.
Yeah.
People know it. And right now, there's a lot of indecision on where we're going to go,
Right.
because we have no idea. I mean, like, let's be honest, Raider Nation, everybody, you know what? We can call up somebody right now, and the first position they're telling you is quarterback. Everybody, right? But I, Telesco, he's the decision maker, right? Chip Kelly, have they really said a way that they're going? Have you guys got any vibe of the way they're going? They're saying, hey, we're going to draft a quarterback. We're going to draft our guy. But they didn't say, hey, this guy's going to come in and he's going to be the starter. Did they say that? Have you guys come in heard anything like that?
Not 100%, but I would almost think you have to. Like, I mean, I would.
At number
I
one,
know
you're
they're
saying we
not
have to
happy.
draft the quarterback at number one.
They're
Wait,
not happy.
you're saying number one? Are you just talking about first round? First round
First
and
round?
number one are different. I mean,
Not only in the first round.
if you move up to number one, that guy's starting.
Yeah.
You're not
No. I'm
selling the
saying in the
farm
first round.
the
I'm
first
saying
round.
first
Okay,
round.
okay.
If we stay at 13, okay? Because if we go number one, we know that we're drafting a quarterback. It's a done set deal. I mean,
Yeah,
like, let's not even beat
he's
that
the
dead.
future. We're not. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't sell you don't mortgage the future to draft a guy at the number one spot and to turn around and bench him.
yeah,
He's got.
absolutely. So
You,
If
that's
we
you
where I'm
got
stay
at.
like
at
I said,
13,
you got to be PC and say they're going to compete. But come on now.
Yeah,
if we stay at 13, I could see them focus. Like I said, like earlier, I think we were talking about it. I can see them taking a interior lineman. You know, and hoping that you get your quarterback later, and be
okay.
okay with developing. Maybe a second round pick into a starter. Like I could see them going and waiting a little bit if someone falls. Like if they don't move up initially to the top three, I can see them going lineman. Because at 13, do you really reach for that mid tier first rounder, or do you go to more another spot that you need to build because we need both. You know, we need quarterback and we need interior line, offensive line help. We need to be able to keep our quarterback upright just in case it is AOC.
Okay. Yo, all in? Thoughts?
Man, I really just don't see them going any other direction than QB in the
You think
first.
at 13, you think in the first round we're automatically going QB? You think
I
that's going
think
to be
I
the
think
best player on the board?
it depends on who it is, man. I think if McCarthy continues to shoot up the boards and he's available, there's a possibility they go there. We've seen Telesco say he likes Knicks. It's a possibility we go there if he's available. I don't think they let one of those guys pass by, man. I mean, will there be other players higher graded? I'm sure, but I think it's hard to speculate until we see what they do in free agency. And I think at the start of free agency, you're also going to see if we're going to move up, it's going to be like San Francisco and Miami a couple years ago. Was it Miami? Miami or Philly? Whoever they traded with, I can't remember if it was Miami or Philly. I think it's going to be early in the if we make a move, man. I think it'll be early in the off season.
So I'm going to hit you with something weird, all right? I was
Yeah,
listening on another podcast, and they're saying that Chicago is going to hold it close to the vest. They're going to
maybe.
they're not going to hey, because guess what? They have nothing to lose because they
Right.
have Fields already. They got the number one pick, and the more they wait, the more valuable that pick becomes.
Right.
Because people are like, okay, so what are you doing? Like once they start seeing the pieces fall into place,
Right.
you can pretty much hold another team hostage.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
I
you don't want
think,
to play your
man.
hand too early.
Well, and I think a lot is going to tell us what we're doing in the draft in free agency, right? Because we got a lot of money to play with. What do they do in free agency? What spots do they fill in free agency?
All right, so let's play a little game. All right, all in. You're to let's go right now. All right, and Bova. You guys are Chip Kelly and Telesco, right? You guys are we're in the fucking Raiders war room. I
Hey, speaking of,
come in with
you
my
keep saying
bad
Kelly.
haircut.
Kelly's not even the assistant GM anymore, right?
I don't know where everybody's falling, kind of like in the
That's
whole
I'm
structure
curious
thing.
too, man. Because they hired that dude from L.A. as the assistant GM that worked with him in L.A. So that was my first thought too when I read that was where does he keep falling and fit into this deal now in the front office? Because he went from assistant to interim
I think,
to now he's neither.
but I'd be like, but there's no official title on the other guy either.
I thought it did say he was the assistant GM. I thought they said they were hiring him in the same role.
I don't know. I just from what I saw, it said, "Hey, we're bringing this guy on."
Okay, I thought the article I read. I may have to go back and look, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
crazy.
don't
So I'm
know.
curious. I was just
Well, but you
curious.
got anything on that, Boba? You
What's
got
that?
anything on
I'm tripping. What?
that? You got anything on that?
Oh no! I'm losing it for a second. I'm like, I got like my FanDuel popping up on my thing, telling me all my stats and stuff. I'm like trying to keep up on my tickets.
Hell yeah.
Um, what were we talking about again? Hold on a
Yeah.
sec. Let's run that back.
Back to your question.
So,
Hey, I interrupted Will's question.
yeah. So basically, he said, "Yo, where do you think Chip Kelly kind of falls into the leadership kind of right now?"
Champ Kelly.
Or Champ,
I'm
Champ.
gonna say because I was hearing Chip Kelly. I'm like, he got hired somewhere else. No, but I really don't.
I think there had been a plan, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're not dumb, bro. Like I told you, Mark got the bag, and now he's bringing in all these guys. There has to be a way that he's playing these cards that guys are
Yeah.
like, you know what? Like I'll play my role. Like, dude, this is a smart move for my career. I don't see Champ Kelly going like, yo, I'm
Right.
gonna make a stupid move. Like he's a smart guy, and I'm sure that he has his say, and that war room has now added another piece, bro. Like for
Yeah.
me, if I'm Mark Davis right now, I feel like a fucking king. Dude, I got my king. I got my freaking his knight that I brought over, I got my freaking rook that I kept over from my last regime. I got my
Right.
coach. I got more pieces that I'm adding to this leadership team where I lack.
And he got the deal with Tom Brady is going to be done at the meetings in March.
Exactly. So he's
So
bringing in a lot of football dudes.
so Tom's going to own 7% because he's part of a group, right? Now that he had to go get more money, so Tom will own 7%. This group will own 3. So
So
it's
he's
another
go 10.
football mind. Tom, yeah, the whole group owns 10%, but they said Tom owns 7 of that 10.
Interesting.
Damn.
Yeah, from what I read this morning.
That's interesting, bro. Now, are these voting shares or non-voting shares? That's my question.
I don't know, man. Tom's going to have a say in everything because
Yeah.
that's just Mark loves that dude.
Right.
Mark loves a lot of dudes, but again, hey, so
He says his
guys,
Mark loves dudes.
yeah. All right, fellas, like I said, let's get back to it. You guys are the GMs right now. If we go and say, hey, we have to stay at 13, who are you guys saying banging the door for at 13, saying, at 13, I'm gonna go like this, okay? We're gonna go the mock draft.
Okay.
Okay. So give me a second. Bringing it up. Mock draft.
And we're going to do this based solely on staying at 13.
Yeah, we're not gonna first. We'll run it first with trying to run trades for you guys.
No, I
But
mean, shit, we've done it with Trey. Let's go solely at 13, man, and see what it looks like.
all right, hold on here. This is let me bring this up here and let me share my screen. You guys see my screen?
A little bit.
Oh yeah.
All right. So this thing even brings up. This is a different one. All right, brings
Okay.
up quarterback needs. All right. So we're gonna start the draft.
Oh, it brings up team names. That's cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna start the draft we got 13, 44, 77. Okay. So start draft. So far, okay, we're at 13. We're on the clock, right? Let
Damn.
me
So how
pause.
many quarterbacks do they have projected going already? How many have already in the mock draft? Can we see who's taken already?
Caleb Williams, Drake
Drake
May,
May.
Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's see here. Malik Nails or Neighbors, Cooper DeJean, a corner. Romeo Odunzie, wide receiver. Brock Bowers, tight end. Nate Wiggins, corner. Tackle, I can't pronounce the guy from
Right.
Jaden Daniels is gone. Bo Nix is gone. Quarterbacks left. Let's see here. We got Michael Penix Jr. still left. We got J.J. McCarthy or McCartney. We got
For me, man, I'm taking McCarthy there.
You're taking McCarthy at 13.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
like
basically
McCarthy.
saying, okay, wait, there's a trade offer. Okay. Says here, select a team to trade with. Oh no, never mind. This is not a trade offer. This is a different draft simulator. So okay. So you're going JJ McCarthy. Thoughts, Tony?
I would have went. I'm okay with that. I really am. It's not a far reach, and it's enough to be like a decent offensive weapon that we can use because he could extend those plays, as we know, and he should be all right. So, like,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Okay, so you're taking him over Michael Penix. You got
Yeah, I want the guy with two ACLs.
Yeah.
all
That's
right.
my biggest thing with Penix, man, is his injury history, right? That's
Yep.
my biggest thing.
Let's
I
see here.
mean,
So according
I'm
to
I,
that
I'm
mock draft, how many quarterback did Penix come off the board? How many QBs went off the board?
Hold on, I can't where the
Go
heck is
back.
this? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna use this one. This is the one that we used before. We're gonna go first 3 round. My bust, guys. My bust. I couldn't see that. Close.
Right.
Let's draft.
Hey guys, I got my pool tournament. I gotta go hit up in a minute.
All right.
So
Hey,
I gotta jump off, fellas. But I'm gonna holler at you guys though.
All right,
salute
brother.
Tony B.
Good luck with
All
them
right, yeah,
tickets,
I'll
man.
keep you updated on my ticket.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Let's go.
All right, yo. So all in. We got
Yeah,
Caleb
yeah.
Williams already off the board, right?
Okay. Okay.
We got. Let's see here. Joe Alt comes off the board. Drake May comes off the board. Brock Bowers, tight end, off the board.
Man,
Oh,
that'd be wild if they went Bowers over Henderson Jr.
right?
Hey, right there at 9, man. Look, all right there. I would even look at maybe trading with Chicago, trading just you wouldn't have to trade as much to go to that 9 man if you want to get your guy.
Okay,
Like say
let's
Jaden
trade.
Daniels is still there.
Where is Chicago here? NFC.
Right there.
What do you want to
So you
trade?
would I'd swap picks, right? And maybe give them up next year's first and see what happens.
Accepted.
Yeah, see? So you're
Okay,
only giving
so
up one pick to go get your guy. Man, I'd go
okay,
Jaden Daniels right there, buddy.
okay, you drafted Jaden Daniels. Okay, now we're
Look,
gonna
now
keep
you
going.
still got your second and your third.
Okay, let's see here.
I'd be curious to see how many quarterbacks are off the board after this in this mock draft.
So let's see here. Where are we at right now? 16. And let me see.
I think New Orleans probably goes quarterback too.
Bo Nix is still on the board according to them. Michael Penix is still on the board. We're at 16. So let's see here. We're gonna run it through to.
Let's see if anybody moves up.
There was a trade there, but this for an edge rusher. So let's see here. Bo Nix
Tampa
comes off.
went Bo Nix.
Okay, that means you pretty much everybody's agreeing that Michael Penix Jr. will probably be a second rounder, even the other simulator.
Yeah. We'll see, man. I think if he has a big a big combine, big pro day, man, I think Penix can help himself there.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean? I think there's enough quarterback needy teams. I think you could see some shakeups.
I agree. All right, man. So hey, so here's the first round, right? We see Fatunu, uh, Adonai Mitchell. You got Graham Barton, Marius
Lot
Mims.
of line help in the draft.
Yep. So we see Bo Nix off the board. You see Tyler Guyton. You say Fuaga from Oregon State. Keon Coleman, Cameron Kitchens,
Man, that
Amari
kid,
Austin.
the Texans get that kid out of Florida State,
Woo!
put him on the
Keon
other side of
Coleman.
Will Anderson.
Oh, bro, that's dirty.
Yeah, yeah.
That's dirty. Oh, I'd be
Seattle
like,
gets another solid corner in Nate Wiggins.
yep. So I'd be like, I could see. So, and you see Latu at 15. I can see Latu at 15. I mean, like, I could see us at 13 if we, but again, he has an injury history, so I don't think we'll draft him at 15. If he
Yeah,
wasn't, if he didn't have that injury history,
I'd take Penix all day. Hit the man, that dude can throw a ball.
yep. And I
I,
mean,
I
like,
like Penix. He just that history, man, just worries me.
so Latu and Penix are in the same boat.
Yeah, yeah,
Latu from UCLA,
yep.
yep. But all right, man. So we're in the second round, right? So let's look at the second round here. Say, hey, do you want to trade up or do you want to stay at
At
where we're
44,
at? Yep, at 44.
let's let it ride at 44, man. See what happens.
All right, boom. We're gonna let it ride, and we'll see what all that's available is gonna be at that time. Hey, you got a trade offer for your second round pick. You got a 108, you got 129, you got second round next year, and a third round next year.
Damn, who's on the old board?
Well, and then 49 and 115. So hold on here. On the board, you got best player available graded here is Tyler Nubin, who's a safety from Minnesota. Lad McConkey, wide receiver from Georgia. Troy Franklin, wide receiver from Oregon. Michael Penix Jr., QB, Washington. Kevondre Sweat, Texas. TJ Tampa, corner, Iowa State. Zach Frazier, offensive center, West
Man,
Virginia.
let's go. Let's trade. Let's do that Cincinnati trade, man. Pick up another pick. We're only moving back 5 spots. See what it does.
Okay.
Who do they pick? Let's see.
Tampa goes, or they go with TJ Tampa, corner, Iowa State.
Okay.
So then who gets drafted right after them is, nope, hold on. So then they went wide receiver McConkey, then Kalen Carson, another corner, came off the board. Michael Hall, D tackle. Braylon Trice, edge, Washington. And then you got 49. Best player available on the board is considered at number 39.
Yeah,
Tyler
we don't need
Newton.
a safety. Man, I'd go Sweat there.
Sweat. Or hold on, you got another trade off.
Oh, let's see.
Minnesota's calling.
They
They
still got
want
that.
I'll be like, they want to give you quite a bit, but let's see here. They want you to move back also like into the third round. So
That's the.
then
Is that the third or the fourth round?
third or fourth round, I believe. I think 108. That's pretty far back. So I'm like, yo,
Yeah, that's round 4.
yep.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking that, and I'm not helping the Chiefs either. Fuck them.
All right. So
Let's see. So what do we got? What's our biggest need still? Corner,
our
safety.
team needs is quarterback, corner, safety,
Oh,
offensive tackle,
quarterback.
offensive. What's that?
Man. Oh, I was just reading it.
Yep, it says cornerback, safety. I mean, like if we need a safety,
Yeah, hell, he's the best on the board. Let's take him. Him or
all right,
Sweat, man. What do you think?
dude. So this is where it gets difficult, and I'm like, yo, I like drafting an interior lineman because I want to find another guy, a younger guy. We all dream of that guy that pairs up with Max Crosby.
Right.
I mean, like as a Raiders fan, we are dreaming of finding a guy to pair up with Max. I'd be like, Malcolm Kuntz is coming around. I'm being like, he's a great guy on the other side. But
Yeah.
what happens when you have to put an interior guy on the same side with Max Crosby?
Man, see,
That's
and that's
just
why
dominant.
I'm with you too, man. The Sweat's a stud. He had good career at Texas.
But I haven't done my homework on Tyler Newman. Okay,
Yeah, I don't know who
so
he is either.
let's read his chart. Let's read his chart. Okay, he says Newman is a verified member of the Good Football Player Club. All right.
All right.
All right. It's already a thumbs up for me. Now, I'm just kidding.
Right.
His athletic profile can be nitpicked a bit. So let's see. He's 6'2", 210. I mean, like,
Okay.
bro, he ain't small. He
Right.
has elite burst. He doesn't have an elite burst or fluidity, though. And his long speed can be a concern. So we're kind of looking at it in the box corner then, bro. I'd be like, he's a strong safety.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, I'd go Sweat there. Let's find the guy to pair with Max.
all right. So we're going, all right, man. So bam, we got Sweat. Going down the chart now, going down the chart. Our next pick is at 77. Michael Penix is still on the board, bro, at 56. He's dropping like a fly. Oh, 50. I'd be like, wow. Oh, he finally got picked up. All right. Let's see here. We're in the third, getting into the third round.
Oh, man, everybody on ESPN, oh, except saying pick the Chiefs. I was gonna say if they all pick the Chiefs, man, you know San Francisco's gonna win.
Yep. Oh, it's. I just want both teams to lose, bro. I don't really care.
Right. Right.
Shit. Let's see
I
here.
got a lot of friends back home and NorCal that are fucking diehard Niner fans.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm the same.
My oldest loves them.
Oh, he's probably gonna be having panic attacks today, bro.
Oh, dude, the Green Bay game.
Yeah.
He had his father-in-law and his mother-in-law over and a couple other people. He fucking kicked them all out. They were losing. He told them all they gotta go. I was like, God damn it, dude, you can't be doing that. I said, how you gonna kick your own family out? That's fucked up. Fuck.
Oh man.
I was like, that's a dick move. Like I get mad during games, but goddamn, I ain't never kicked nobody out.
All right, man. Yeah. In the third round.
Who we
All
got
right.
available?
Okay, Will Shipley, running back. Devontae Walker, wide receiver. Braylon Allen, running back.
What do
Uh,
you got for linebackers, man?
so you're going linebacker. You see, often needs wise, we've covered quarterback, safety. It says corner, offensive tackle, offensive guard. But you're saying,
Let's see what's out there. Let's look at O line and linebackers. I think we're gonna fill that DB spot in the free agent market.
I think so as well. I'm like, hey, so
We need a vet. We got a lot of younger guys in the secondary. We need a solid veteran. We need
so like
Alexander, Sneed, one of those type guys.
I I could see Sneed as
I
much
could
as
too, man. Stealing,
I,
stealing from KC.
I could see that. I mean, like I can definitely see that, but
Right,
we'll have to see after this game. So, yo,
right. He came up big against the Ravens, so
the best
okay.
rated linebacker is
I don't
rated
know shit about
158.
none of them.
No, I got you. Yo, best rated linebacker is rated 158. Okay, Aaron Casey from Indiana,
Okay, so
160.
what do we
Go
got
ahead.
O line wise?
Okay, offensive tackle, you got a guy rated at 140. Offensive guard 233, and center 220.
See, man, I don't think we go center. I think worst case, man, you move Parham to center.
Oh, here we go. 92 is offensive tackle right here.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I don't know shit about that guy.
don't know anything about that guy either. Let me see here. Oh, line. Let me see. Okay, so you could pick up a center who's rated 71.
Can he play anywhere else?
Let's see here. Cedric Van Pran would have contended with Joe Tippmann and John Michael Schmitz as the first center off the board in the NFL draft. Van Pran is an excellent mover who possesses an innate ability to pursue the correct angle at the second level while also having the lower body composition and power to make the difference, to be the
At the
difference
first
maker
level.
at the first level. Yeah. So then,
He's the highest line on the board.
yep,
Hell, let's go. Let's go with him. You might be able to make him a guard, him or Parham. One of them will play guard.
yep. And I think that's a wrap, right? Because we didn't
Yeah.
get
Hell
any more
yeah,
picks.
3 rounds. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, it is a wrap.
I
Let's
don't
see.
remember where that other pick came in at.
No, I think we picked we get them later because it says
Oh, it
here
was the
my
fourth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, that wouldn't be a bad first 2 days.
no sir. I mean, like we pick up a center, you get Jaden Daniels, you get another inter. I mean, like that makes me excited.
Right. And you didn't give up the complete future for Jaden Daniels.
No, absolutely. So,
I would be
all
okay
right.
with giving up next year's pick, first round pick, especially if he worked out.
I agree. I think okay. So now we're basically saying we got our guy, right? You got Jaden Daniels. What do we do with the guys we have on the roster? What do you see are the moves that, of course, we're going to have to cut Jimmy? Like, you're either going to have to cut
Jimmy's Jimmy's gone, and I've thought that since they benched him. He out.
Hoyer.
I could see. I mean, Hoyer's what, a $2 million contract this year. I could see Hoyer sticking around.
Okay. AOC.
Yeah, he'll be number two.
Okay.
If you draft
Develop
a
him.
guy like Jaden, man, you're gonna
Well, I mean,
he's
I
gonna
know you
start.
already said it. If you draft a guy in the first, okay, a quarterback
He's
in the
gonna be the
first,
starter.
okay. Now, if you don't draft a quarterback in the first, okay,
Hmm.
where do the Raiders go in the first round?
Man, it's got to be either O line or D line,
Okay, so
or get a stud linebacker that we've lapped for years.
so again, who do you see? Do you have any names that you think, hey, you know what, this is a possibility? I mean, like I know everybody's on the quarterback train at number one. That's why I keep saying it. Who. I'm like, do you see another name, another guy?
Man, I think you go best available tackle, right? See what offensive tackles come off the board. Best defensive player. Do they take a gamble on that kid out of UCLA if he's available?
I mean, like,
It's
so here's my thing. I think he would be great for a NASCAR package,
Right,
but do we need another outside pass rusher, or do we need
right,
another, or do we need an interior guy?
right. Or do we need a linebacker that can play sideline to sideline and fast and keep up with Patty?
Do you see him as that type of kid?
Who?
Look, the kid from,
No, I'm saying, or do you go linebacker there that can
but I mean,
play?
like, who do you see there at linebacker that
Man,
has that?
I'd have to look and see what linebackers are out there.
I mean, like, if you're talking about a guy like that, like a Ray Lewis,
Right,
who the? I mean, like, yes.
right.
I mean, like, that's a yes.
Yeah,
But
right,
I
right,
mean, like, again, it's so hard to say because I'm like, unless you have a name, I'm like, I don't know. Like, bro, like, I start thinking about it. I don't see a guy that pops off the chart to say, dude, that guy's like gonna be the linebacker. But
right. Man, I really think that if we stay at 13, I really think it's probably O line, D line, and I don't know, best available tackle, best available guard. I don't think we draft a center unless he could play both.
so let me give you another like little freaking or twist here. Okay, let's say we're at 13.
Hmm.
Caleb Williams is off the board. Freaking Drake May's off the board. Jaden Daniels is off the board. But you still got JJ, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Who do you go? Do you say okay? Who do you pull the trigger on, and why?
Man, I've come on here and said I like JJ. Man, I like that the kid's young. He's a team first guy, right? He's not a big stat. He can move with his legs if he has to, and he can throw the ball. He seems to be a smart quarterback. I like JJ, man. I like Bo too. Bo's, in my opinion, Bo's leadership came into question when they were in the Pac-12 game, and he's over there pouting on the sidelines. They got 3 minutes to go and a chance to get the ball back. I'd like to see the quarterback, up and into the game and not with a towel over his head crying on the sideline. That kind
Well,
of turned me off of Bo.
what is that? I see what you're saying. So, but Caleb Williams had the same issue.
I agree, and you don't. I'm not a fan of Caleb either. I think the
So you,
guy's got talent, but I'm not sure. Huh?
you're Chicago, right? You
Yeah.
have you're holding all the cards. Who do you see that and you say, hey, do I take Jaden Daniels? Do you take Drake May? Do you take Caleb Williams? Who do you think if you're going to draft a quarterback at one? Who do you see? I'd be like, because you just said I got turned off by this guy doing this.
Right. The
So
same thing with Caleb, in my opinion.
so you would take Drake May or Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think the
Just
Raider. Yeah, and I think we would too. Like if we moved up, man, I think we were moving up to get Jaden.
I think I you know what? I love your resolve, bro. Because that's
Dude,
awesome.
man,
Like,
I just
what? Hey,
as
you
much
got
as
your
as
type and you have it right there.
as
That's
much as
awesome.
AP loves that dude, man. I really think they if they move up, man, I think they're going to give him what he wants to succeed and what he thinks he's after. He
No,
brought Jaden to ASU. Jaden was in the locker room after week 18. I
oh,
just
I know. But again, I don't know if that's again a strategy
yeah,
or
and it
if
could
it's
be
like, or it's just like, hey, man, you know what? This kid is one of the kids I've coached because as a coach, bro, like,
right.
hey, I coach this
I
kid.
get that
Like,
too for sure.
you know,
Hey, the
like,
other crazy thing I saw that I man and you know on Mitchell Ren's proposed. Check this out. So say you move up to one, right? And then you call Washington like, hey, we're taking Caleb unless you want to swap picks and give us a first next year. Man, that'd be interesting scenario to play out.
okay. So first of all, who says that the Washington Commanders are looking at taking Caleb Williams?
I think
I'm like,
that's
if
I
you
think
call
that's
me
the
like that. What happens if they call your bluff and they go like, okay, cool, pick them. You don't want them
Shit.
anyway.
Right. I think, man, I think, and that's always, but I think Washington, I think with Cliff, I think they're all in on Caleb. And I think
I
I
think
really
they
do.
might be, but I'd be like, yo,
And that
you're
might be
not
why
going
that
to.
deal fell apart. You know, maybe AP and Tom are like, man, we just don't like Caleb. Like, we're
I think
willing to move up and get a guy, but we don't like Caleb.
and you might be right, and I think there's something to that. I think a lot of the ego thing played into it. Like we
Oh,
said, he was a head coach
100%.
before, and then he saw that other coaches were getting this type of money, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, fuck, I'm a high commodity guy. You know, people are talking about me on ESPN, saying that
Right.
that I'm so good, I'm so great. I need
Yeah.
more money." And
Yeah, it
then
could
like,
be, man.
because I'm
That
telling you,
could
like,
be.
yeah, I call if I'm calling, Dingleberry, I'm like, yo, I'm calling you and I'm giving you a chance, homie.
Yeah.
I'm giving you an opportunity to get your feet back in the NFL.
Yeah, because right
You're
now you're a quarterback coach.
in college
Yeah.
to prove that you can stay in the NFL. But I'm going to give you a 2-year prove it contract.
Yeah,
Get two
exactly.
years, 18 games. I said 18 games, and I will tell you if this hire was a good hire. I can tell you because that's how
Yeah.
many games you can evaluate.
Yeah.
And if you earned it, bro, I'll pay you. You'll get paid
100%.
because
I tell
even
you,
the
hey, man, if you earned it after year one, I'll give you that extension.
yeah, because the details of AP's contract still haven't come out.
Yeah, that's interesting, too. I'm curious. I was actually just thinking about that the other day. Like, I
I
wonder what
guess
the details of that are.
I guarantee you he's on a prove it contract.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's got
You
to be,
remember
right?
when he said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you 2 years or 2 to 3 years. I'm gonna pay you this much.
Yep.
But if you get us into the playoffs,
Hey, if
I'm
you
gonna
win the
extend."
division, you get X amount. We win the division, get in the dance.
Well, if you win the dance, I'd be like, yo, I don't know if AP takes us to the Super Bowl, bro. I can see him being the coach for the next
For a long time.
decade, dude, two decades.
Let alone win that deal, man.
Because I mean, like if you go and take the team like that, and you're like, yo, we've been so deprived as Raiders fans, bro. It's been a
Yep.
long time, 20 years since we've been in the Super Bowl. Half my life,
22. 22.
dude. It's been my full life, 40
Right.
since we won
Right.
it.
Yeah, man, and I think look, I think we just need to take that first step, right? And getting over the division hump. And
Oh,
shit, we
dude,
do that and anything's possible.
so I think like this. I think his contract would kick in if we make the playoffs. If we make the
Yeah.
playoffs, it shows that we're headed the right way, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you know what? Or if we're super competitive. I don't see us
Right.
not being competitive,
I
you
don't
know.
either. I don't and look
So
at it this way, man. Like so we finished 8 and 9. I was just talking to somebody and I was like, man, I think 10 wins is realistic. And they're like, oh well you said it last year. I said, you're right. I did say 10. I said 11. I said 10 or 11 I think we could get to this year. And look at it. Had we handled business in Chicago and had we handled business against Pittsburgh, we would have been 10-7. Two winnable games that we shit the bed in.
dude, I thought we were gonna be 9-8.
Did you?
Straight up said it. I
Yeah, yeah.
straight up said it at the beginning of the season. I didn't see us like, hey, and again, we'll see what happens with the draft and everything and how
Yeah.
everything pans out. But I'd be like, do I see a lot of potential in our team? Did we leave a lot of games on? But yeah,
Oh
but then,
yeah.
bro, again, every other team can say that. You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
can. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So
And we did the last 2 years, man. I mean, I could count 7 games in the last 2 years that we should have easily won, that we
yeah,
were winning, and that we fucking gave. Hey, but on the flip side of that is, had we won those games, right? Even this year, had we won Pittsburgh, had we won Chicago, McDaniels probably wouldn't have got fired.
no, exactly. So I mean, like,
So,
hey, it came out in a situation where we came out winning. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
100%.
we ended up going the good way. Now,
Yeah.
if AP gets us into the playoffs, like we said, hey man, it's a thing where it's over, bro. Like, yo, we're gonna extend them, we're gonna keep.
Yeah,
Now, what do you see the Raiders doing this offseason to better themselves with free agency? I mean, like, where do you see pieces falling in? You said corner, right? You
I
said
think
this.
I think the I think the big splash free agency is going to be. I think we're going to pick up a corner. I think you could look at Alexander or Sneed. Kansas City's in a position, man, where they can't. They're not going to be able to tag both Jones and Sneed. They're going to tag one of them. And
Yeah.
who do they? So who do you value more, right? As Kansas City, so they're gonna tag one of those guys. If they tag Sneed, I'd go after Alexander if he doesn't get tagged. I don't know Green Bay's situation, but I think we can make a big splash free agency
Well, it's
there.
going to be Chicago, or the Chiefs have Chris Jones, Jadarius Sneed. Okay.
Yep, you
So
got to tag one of them,
you
right?
you got to tag one of those. Okay. Um, then you'll have,
You got
who did we?
Alexander in Green Bay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like Alexander. I'm like, I just don't see his personality fitting in with us.
Right, right. I could see, and that's where I see Sneed, man, with Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs and Robertson, man. I could see Sneed fitting in there, man. He does
I
that.
could,
He does that shit that gets under your skin.
I could see that. Now, I mean, when we look at that and we say, all right, so we're bringing in free agents. I mean, offensively, where do you see an upgrade in free agency that, because we keep saying, all right, you're going to bring in your quarterback, you're going to bring in this guy, you're going to draft that. Right?
I think we address depth and maybe a starter at right guard in free agency, but O line depth, right guard.
Yeah, I think that's something a possibility. What do you see happening with Renfro?
It's a good question, man. Just because he could fit Getsy's offense, but that money, maybe he's like, hey man, I want to be here. Let's talk restructure, or Telesco comes to him and says, hey man, let's restructure your deal
Yeah.
and see,
Do you, do you see Telesco trying to bring in over any free agents from the Chargers?
100%. I'm just not sure. We'll have to wait and see who gets cut out there, right? They already said they would trade Mack, but well, I'd love to have Mack back, but I don't want Mack at Mack's contract.
Well, and that's where they're saying, "Oh, we'll trade him," and I'm like, "Who's going
Yeah,
to trade with that contract?"
knowing that you're going to have to end up cutting him with your cap space. That's a
Yep,
big deal, man. I don't want him back at $30 million. That eats up half our cap.
exactly. And I don't see him staying. And I mean, like being like, "Hey, I'm going to take a cut." Now, if they go in free agency,
Yeah,
I don't. And like, if they cut him and he goes into
I'll go
free
get
agency,
him.
I see us making a play.
Bring him
I mean,
home.
serious play.
Yeah, I do too. And I could see him wanting to come back. You
Now,
know,
all right, let's say Matt gets cut. What does GM all in pick up the phone? What are you offering? What are you saying?
man, I maybe because so if he clears waivers, right, he's getting paid, right? Still, LA's on the hook for X amount of dollars. I'm not sure how that works. Are they on the hook for just the difference? Say he comes in, he gets 10 million. So are they only on the hook for the 23 in the difference? I
I
don't
don't.
understand how that works. I have to
I
look that
don't
up,
know.
man. Man,
It's almost like the Russell Wilson thing,
yeah,
where
I'd give him a 1 year, 10 mil,
a 1 year 10 mil.
to play opposite of Max. Let's see what happens. Excuse me. Let's see what happens.
Do you think he'll come on a 1 year though?
Man, I would even. How old is he? He's right. He's what, 31, 32. Yeah, I mean, shit. Two, no more than two.
I think I'd go two. I think if
Yeah,
you give him a two, like he's gonna be like, yo, okay, like I get it. I'm older now. Maybe three. You say, hey, 2 to 3 year. If you
yeah.
say,
Come
hey,
in, finish your deal, finish what you
you
started.
yeah, come in and like work with us, bro. Work on. You know what? You'll be 34 years old when you leave. I mean, like that's an older defensive lineman.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Play with Matt, man. Him and Max. You don't need much in the middle.
Dude,
You just need a
him,
guy to
him,
plug the
Mack,
hole.
Malcolm Kuntz,
Tyree in the middle, and you got to remember
Tyree.
too. We drafted some defensive line last year, man, that had some injury problems this year that were on the practice squad.
They're saying what's his name is gone.
I forget it. He's got a big old long last name. I can't remember her first name.
Oh,
Fuck.
Robinson, Janarius Robinson, DUI,
Yeah, the
bro.
day after you sign. The day after you
Oh,
sign.
yeah. So I haven't heard anything. Have you heard
I,
anything?
I haven't either. And maybe that's just because Super Bowl talk, or they're all Super Bowl festivities this week and signings and shit like that. I don't know, man. I cut him. You already set the tone, right? Like there's no nonsense around here. You're cutting guys last year.
I'm amazed that he hasn't been cut yet.
I honestly too. I was just saying that to somebody yesterday.
Yep. So I mean, like, I think we need to like look at that and say, hey, what are we gonna set the tone here?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, in my opinion, AP already set the tone, right? Like
yeah.
last
So
year with the no nonsense. I mean, how do you not cut him?
uh, and the kid was coming around.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
here's the thing too. So if you cut him right, so now you're setting a precedence. Now you got to look at, hey man, if these guys go out and what if one of our superstars goes out and do this? What do? You can't have it
oh,
both ways,
over, so we don't have to worry about him
right?
back.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
like,
Hey, what's
so
crazy to me in these players getting these DUIs, man, is the NFL has a Uber or one of them set up to where all they got to do is make a phone call.
I, but I think that's like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I think
Hey, we've
us
all
as
been
dudes,
there.
yeah, us as dudes, we're idiots, bro.
Yeah,
Sometimes, and I mean,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
our freaking ego gets the best of us, and we're like, yo, oh, I only had a couple,
Right.
and then there's your fucking pendejo ass fucking driving down the road. You're like, oh fuck, how did I even get home?
We've all been there too, bro. I mean,
So I think it's a little bit of that, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, I think as fans, sometimes we become unrealistic and think these players are not like us.
oh,
You know,
100%.
yeah, they're fucking people, bro. You're
Yeah.
just a really
Yep.
good athlete.
I
You're gonna
agree.
make now. Again, it's difficult because, just like you said, I got Uber on my phone, homie.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and there's some times where I'm like, yeah, here I go.
Yeah.
The
I'm
fucking
good. You
dumbass.
ain't taking my keys. Fuck you.
Yeah, but so I mean, like again, it sucks, but I think he needs to. If we're going to set the president, we need to do that.
I
But
agreed,
yeah,
man. He kind of said it earlier, or last year. It's just no nonsense, man.
yes, sir.
So I don't know. We'll
Hey,
see. We'll see what happens. Be interesting. When does the league year officially end and start? It's in March, right? We're like a couple
March
weeks
is
away.
oh, bro. I've already. That's why everything's cooking. Everything. I mean, like a lot of the stuff that everybody keeps talking about. Like I said, is getting a little bit old. I don't want to keep talking about, hey, you
Right.
know, this guy, or you know what? I get it. We're going after a quarterback, but I'll be like, yo, we really don't know until everything is addressed in
Free
free
agency
agency.
first. Yep.
Once free agency comes, I'll be like, okay, now I'm gonna be like, what's your plan?
Yeah.
Like, who do we got coming? Who
We'll
do we
see how
got
things
coming?
come together. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but
100%.
all right, last question. Who do you got today's Super Bowl?
Well, fuck both teams.
Yes, sir. Hey, and
But
that's all we got for tonight, baby. Click that
yeah,
like, subscribe. It's all about the Raiders here, baby. And
all
if you're
day.
watching the Super Bowl, I hope you're enjoying. But hey, for us, it's both
Fuck both
teams.
teams.
But
Hell yeah.
hey, a salute here from our All In podcast, from the Silver and Black Radio podcast. It's your boy Raider Will and my boy All In.
All in. What's up, baby?
Let's get it. Yo,
Hey, have a
hey,
good
y'all
week,
have a great
guys.
day.
Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes, sir. Salute.